Chemeza, and I'm the Public Relations Manager of Sino Mbale Industrial Park, which is located in Mbale City. About the incident of the boy who got hurt, it came to our attention that the incident took place on 5th of March 2026. The management of that specific industry took an initiative of taking the boy to the medical center for first aid and treatment, and the boy took treatment for about 5 days, and after then he disappeared. He never returned back to the medical center for treatment. We came to know about it when the boy complained or raised a complaint that he did not heal and the condition is worsening. So from there, we had to invite him here to understand why he never completed the treatment. But the boy said for him he wants to go and treat from his home area, of which we cannot object it, since it is also among the rights of the person to get treatment from the area, from a facility that he or she is comfortable with. However, all companies within the industrial park are insured. In case someone gets an accident, the company takes the responsibility to take the person to the medical center or to the clinic, which is recognized, and pay. Then later the insurance company will refund the payment. We are really sorry about this, but we have encouraged the victim to go back to the medical center and get more treatment. The medical center can be the medical center of his own choice, but ideally it should be the medical center which appears onto the list that is given by insurance, or which covers, which have the insurance cover, because at the end of it all, the insurance will have to refund the amount of money paid. Each factory has a mandate of providing the personal protective equipment, and these PPEs are provided as per the work condition that you be in. For example, if your co-working environment needs a face mask, you must use it. If your working environment needs safety shoes, you must use them. If your working environment needs the circuit breakers, for example, working in the electronics, you must be protected. All industries here have those PPEs, and the employees are supposed to use them at all times while at work. Some individuals have a tendency of rejecting PPEs. For example, a face mask. The employee will tell you, please, whenever I put on a face mask, I don't feel well. But we have a team here, Department of HSE. We have asked them to inspect each factory, each section. Whoever is working or is exposed to any situation and is not ready to put on the PPEs, that employee should face what the law says. Because the policy says you are supposed to warn him. If the employee refuses the PPEs, ideally we are supposed to let him off. Because at the end of it all, when he gets the health risks, they bring it back to us, of which we cannot be responsible for we cannot give you the PPEs, you refuse them, and then later you cause us problems. So we encourage everyone to put on the PPEs as they are provided. If not, don't do that job, because it is your health which might have a problem. But all factories here provide PPEs, and all employees must use them. This is not a request. We are not requesting anyone or we are not going to plead for any employee not to put on PPEs. They must put on PPEs. If not, they should not work.
The Mbale City Labor Officer. I was called on Friday when the accident has just happened, when my brother was burnt with water. And of course, under Section 3 of the Employment of the Workmen's Compensation Act, the employer has the liability to treat a person who has gotten an accident in line of duty. So when I got that notification, which is provided for under Section 9 of the Workmen's Compensation Act, I had to come on scene. But of course, my first priority was to make sure that he gets treatment. On the information I've got on ground, the factory, Future Plastics, took the initiative first to give him some money to get treatment. But of course, in the state he's in, he's supposed to continue with treatment until he's well. And after getting treatment, that's when we shall now put in force Section 26 of the Workmen's Compensation Act, which talks about the procedure of how someone can be compensated for the permanent incapacitation. So, of course, as a labor officer, I want to tackle the number one, the issue of salary. Of course, as a government, we have not yet approved the minimum wage, which is still a bill with the government, okay? And it has to be assented to by the president to put in force about the minimum wage, okay? Two, about the protective equipments, of course, we are now trying to make sure that whoever is on duty must be protected. But sometimes it's not the factory's problem. We may give these equipments, but they don't comply, the workers themselves. So it is a two-way thing. It's not only on the side of the employer, but sometimes it's on the side of the employee not complying with the guidelines on how to use the protective equipment. But for the information I've received, at least they have given gloves, they have given some overall, they give reflectors to some factories like under construction, they give elements, they give gumboots, safety boots to avoid those injuries on site. But as a matter of fact, there's no way you can run away from accidents when you are on either a site or in any factory. You cannot run away from it. That's why me as a labor officer, I've tried to talk with these companies to procure workmen's compensation policies with the insurance companies, okay, different insurance companies, to enable them compensate, because you never know when the accident is going to come. And even us in the government, Minister of Gender, because it had overwhelming backlog of compensation, had to write to Minister of Finance. And Minister of Finance in the financial year 2015-2016 actually told all local governments and all accounting officers to budget for workmen's compensation. And that's what we are doing as in Mbale City, to make sure that we budget for workmen's compensation. This one being, we are aware that in line of duty, there are occupational hazards that you cannot avoid. So when they come, how will you handle them is the question. So at least I've tried to communicate with factory managers, I've tried to communicate with the administration of the park to make sure that these things are put in place, the protective equipment, the policies themselves, where to pass. There are, of course, when you go in the factory, there are those places where they are running motors and all that. They should put guards and so on and so forth. So during our inspection, we always advise them on what's the right thing to be done with it.